like, hear your child out.
Yes.
Because in Africa, we're so used to, why are you whining?
Especially being a boy.
Yes.
Is it similar here? Do like boys and girls fight a lot? Or?
Yes.
They fight.
It's
Yeah.
part of the circle for girls too. I want to say it might even be worse sometimes because
Yeah.
girls tend to talk a lot.
I'll hang out with them in the house and they're drinking,
Yes.
weed, all of that, like, cocaine and all that stuff. They used to do all that stuff.
Yes. The schools, they don't have a way of, or a system of kind of controlling the use of drugs and those kind of stuff. I want us to switch gears and look at our parents. What are your experiences with parents? Because, like, look, we are in America. We have, like, African parents who got raised so differently, and now we are in a completely different environment. How are your experiences dealing with Africans' parents?
I think it's hard for our parents who don't speak English,
Yes.
especially for those who are uneducated too. Like,
Yes.
coming to a new culture, mind you, you're coming to America.
Yes.
And in America, there's no community.
Yes.
Not saying that there's no community. There is community.
Yes.
When there's a community event, you go there.
Yeah.
But you know how in Africa, you live in Africa and everybody know each other.
Yes.
Everybody's taking care of your baby whenever you're not home.
Yeah.
You come to the U.S., it's not like that.
It's not.
Mm-mm.
It's
Everybody's busy. Here
Yes.
you go, get the money and you go to sleep. You wake
Yes.
up the next day, you do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you take the baby to daycare and then you're able to go to work.
Yes.
It's hard for them. They don't speak English. Them like actually getting used to this culture is hard.
Yes.
10 times harder than it is for us kids.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I feel like education is always like what was preached to me and my siblings. Like you gotta do well in school, do your
Yes.
best. So that's something that I definitely experienced. I would say my parents were pretty involved, I feel like, with how we grew up here in the U.S. just
Yes.
because they were like, we want you to have a good experience and get the most out of it.
Yes.
So I feel like they really pushed us to try our best, kind of discover like what our passions are, what we want to do,
Yes.
and go after it type of thing.
Okay, it's like I have a question. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Okay. Are you look? So what? I guess my question is to
Yes.
you, like the parents that we're addressing. Are they parents who are educated, uneducated, like,
I think it's like
or both?
both.
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 Okay.
Okay.
Because I want to like I'm assuming that there's a role that a parent plays in a child's life when they are going to school, especially.
Yes.
Okay.
Like for example, with Chris, and maybe it's something I was going to ask about, like peer pressure.
Yeah.
Like a kid comes home and is behaving in a particular way. You know, he may have experienced something from school. You know, default, typical African parent will be like, you are whining. You get a whooping.
Yeah.
What would be like advice? Is like do that, or there's a better approach, I guess.
Can we not take over? So like you mean like, okay, so
Yes.
if a child comes back home and they're like, oh, the students at school, they were doing this and this and this to me, like what would you want parents to say?
Right.
That's
Yeah,
hard.
That's hard, yeah.
Because I'm so used to, you know how we're raised in Africa, where it's like if
Yes.
somebody does something like that to you, it's nothing, just brush it off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
You just move on.
And for me, that's like the mindset that I've always had. Like if
Yes.
something happened to me at school, for example, there was this girl in my 5th grade class, like she had everybody turn on me
Yes.
for some reason. And then I come back home, I didn't think much of it.
Right.
I was just like, whatever.
Whatever, yeah.
Like I told my teacher about it, so we
Yes.
both got in trouble. When I got home, I didn't bring that problem to my mom.
Yes.
I was just like, now I gotta do my chores.
Right.
Clean the house, cook, make sure my siblings are fed.
Yes.
I didn't bring that to my mom. But I know there are other African kids that come to the U.S. and are
Yes.
really affected by that compared to others.
Yes.
So for the parents, I say like, hear your child out.
Yes.
Because in Africa, we're so used to, why are you whining? Like, that's nothing.
Yes.
No,
Yeah,
it's
that's what I was
it's
gonna say.
not. African America are two different things.
Yes.
You know, you have to listen to them and listen to why they feel that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because how they're, like, the school system here is completely different from the school system back home.
Yes.
Because back home, our teachers are basically like our second parents.
Yes.
You know, where they discipline us just like our parents
True,
would discipline us. But when you come here, how you discipline your child at home is different from how the teacher is disciplining them
That's
in
very
school.
true, yeah.
So literally hear them out and hear why they feel that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then if it really comes to it, if you need to speak to the teacher,
Speak
put
to the
in that
teacher.
effort to
Yeah.
speak to
Yes.
the teacher.
Don't
Yes.
brush it
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
Just don't brush it off
Because
because
it's actually something serious.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
I feel like a lot of students who probably, or Africans students will kind of keep it to themselves.
Yes.
And then maybe they won't think of it much in the moment, but it will affect them over
Later.
time.
Yeah.
Yes,
That
yes.
experience that they're having.
Yeah.
And once they get to know the U.S. more and, like, you know, mental health and everything, they'll be like, oh my gosh, this really happened to me.
Yes.
And then the more they talk about it, the more it start cutting deeper and deeper and
Deeper
deeper.
and deeper, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, me growing up in Kenya, going to school there, we had a lot of fights, especially being a boy. Is it
Yeah.
similar here? Do like boys and girls fight a lot? Or?
Yes.
They fight.
They-
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
This fight.
Yeah, they fight.
Monster in the
But
hallways.
just so you know, you're going to get in trouble.
Yes.
You know, in
Yeah.
Africa, sometimes they'll let us fight it out and
Yes.
we'll make up. But
Oh,
here,
yeah,
Yes.
you're going to get in trouble and you're going to get expelled.
Yes.
Sometimes you'll be kicked out of school for 1 week.
Wow.
Mind you, all
Yeah.
the stuff that you're missing for 1 week.
For one, that's
Yeah.
a long time.
Or sometimes if it's even worse, you might even be like kicked out of the school completely.
Completely,
Yeah.
yes.
And you can't
yes.
come back.
And you can't come back.
Yeah, yeah.
And what you do when you get in trouble, it stays on your record.
That
through
part,
your
yeah.
whole career
Yes,
up
yes.
until you finish high school.
So like if you're registering to go to school, they'll look at your record. Like
Yeah.
what's
Wow.
wrong with this child? Why has he
Yes.
gotten in trouble with? That follows you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So you got to be careful what you do.
Yes.
Like don't just brush it off and think like,
Yeah.
oh,
No,
it's fine. Like
no.
it's actually serious.
Yes.
And-
Was like, yeah, back home, that's how, we demanded respect.
Yeah.
You fight,
You fight that you're just
Yeah.
gonna add onto it.
Yes.
That's back home. Here they're not. They'll put it in your records.
Yes.
And then it's gonna follow you for your entire career.
Yes.
That may or may not ruin your career.
Yes.
Just saying. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So how you carry yourself is very, very important.
Very important, yes.
Yeah. And here too in the U.S., they really value like you following rules, listening to
The
people of
yeah.
authority, like whether it's
Yes.
your teachers or other people in school. You need to actually follow the rules and listen to what others are saying.
Yes.
But like that, what she said is true.
Yes.
100%. Let me not say it. Just what she said. What she said.
No, no, you gotta say it.
No,
Please,
because
go ahead,
sometimes
yeah.
the teachers are in the wrong. For
Oh,
example,
well, yeah,
I'm gonna
for
take
sure.
I'm gonna take my little brother for example, right? This boy, he's a good student. He's a very good student. But when the teacher is in the wrong, he
Yes.
calls the teacher out,
Yes.
and that gets him in trouble.
Yeah.
And then when they call us and they're asking us, "Oh, Shukuru did this and this," I'm just like, "Okay, so what did the teacher do?"
Right.
Because I hear him, I'm like, okay, tell me what happened. Take me through it.
Yes.
So he'll tell me what happened. And then I'm like, okay, let's hear what the teacher said.
Yeah.
And then in my head, I'm like, okay, the teacher's in the wrong. He has every right to, like,
Yeah.
question
yeah.
the teacher.
Yes.
But the teacher take that as disrespectful, as
Yeah.
in being disrespectful. So in a way, sometimes when the teacher says something, just listen to them and move on.
Right.
Don't question it, otherwise you're going to get in trouble for
Right,
it.
right.
But it's what she
Yeah.
said. You have to be respectful.
So kind of sometimes
Yeah.
just picking some battles.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and letting
Pick your
some
battles.
go.
Just let it
yes.
go. Yeah, pick your battles, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, because in America, I would have, expected that, students are, in Africa, you are not even allowed to express yourself.
Not even.
Right. They whoop you and
Yeah.
you go back to your class. Even the thought of going, to counter, argue with a teacher is not even out there, But that's one advantage of America, that students have the freedom
Yes, to speak back.
to speak back. Yeah, sometimes they may, teachers may take it the wrong way, but for the most part, at least there's that freedom.
I think it's like, it
Yes,
depends
like-
on how you
How you say it.
how you say it.
Yeah.
How you say
Yeah.
it,
How you
yes.
deliver it.
And it depends
Yeah.
on the teacher as well. Because
Yes.
some teachers will
Yes, yes,
actually
yes.
be open to and be like, okay, I
Yes.
want to hear out. And they're very understanding.
Yes.
Where there's others, just because you have freedom of speech,
Right.
that doesn't mean you can speak to me anyhow.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm
yeah.
the teacher, I'm always in the right. Some people take the policy too far, where like I'm the teacher, you're supposed to listen to me and every follow the rules.
Yes.
They take it too far.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
where it's like, pick your battles.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might have freedom of speech,
Yes.
but pick when you want to use it.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So using some wisdom right there, like
Exactly.
it's so important.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there, I talked to Chris about peer pressure.
Yeah.
And I had his perspective at the standpoint of our boy.
Okay.
Do you guys had any experience with peer pressure on the, like, speaking from a woman's perspective? And how, what young girls are most likely going to encounter? If you guys don't mind sharing.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely, for sure, peer pressure is
Yeah.
part of the circle for girls too. I want to say it might even be worse sometimes because
Yeah.
Girls tend to talk a lot, and
That's
it
true.
can be kind of catty sometimes.
Yes.
And they can kind of gang up on other people too, I feel like.
What do you gang up?
Which
What do you
makes it
mean? What do you
worse
mean by gang up?
sometimes.
Give us an example.
Like when you're within a group together, I feel like they can kind of all be voicing the same thing, and then you're the one who's like the oddball out type of thing.
Peer pressure is definitely a thing.
Yes.
I personally have never been affected by peer pressure
Yes.
just because, hey,
Like you never experienced it?
No, I think have I experienced peer pressure? Where somebody forced me to do something I don't want to do?
They
It's
told
always-
you, like, hey, we are going to school, let's pass by the gas station and we can steal something.
Oh, definitely not.
That's not a bad example, but
No, but yeah, something like
Yes,
that.
yes.
Absolutely not. Not me. I'm sorry. No, never. Because
Yeah.
I feel like I know my morals. Like I know how my mom raised me. I was
Yeah.
raised in the church.
Yeah.
I was raised to follow the rules,
Right,
basically.
yes.
So like the thought of somebody being like, oh, here's some drugs. Try this, try
Right.
that. Never.
what about version?
What do you mean?
Like a dress code? Like,
How to dress and stuff?
Yeah, like right now, like maybe like everybody's wearing this.
Oh, like the
like
trend,
trend.
like following
Yes,
the trend.
Yes, yeah.
There was a time, but not anymore. I think that the older I get, the more I'm just like, oh, it's a trend, it's gonna die.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
also it's expensive.
And it's
Yes.
I didn't have money. I didn't have money.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but when it comes to drugs, I think I'm gonna speak on this because
Yes.
my friends, actually, like a lot of my high school friends,
Mm-hmm.
I had a very diverse group of friends.
Yes.
But the majority of them were like kids who are from different countries
Yes.
and grew up in the U.S. Like they
Yes.
came in when they were young, so they really are basically Americans.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
So they did a lot of drugs, and I would still hang out with them, but I never did it
Yes.
because it's just like I know what these things could do to your body, how they
Exactly.
could damage you, and it's like I'm focusing on this and this.
Yes.
Doing this will cause me to get in trouble, so why would I do? Again, it goes back to your morals and what you
Yes.
value the most.
Yes.
So like there are times where I'll hang out with them in the house and they're drinking,
Yes.
weed, all of that, like, cocaine and all that stuff. They used to do all that stuff.
Yes.
But I didn't.
Yeah.
I just love their company. But at the end of the day, I never hung out with them like every single day. It was just like once a month.
Yes.
Just so they know, like, okay, I still care for you guys, but I will not tap into whatever it is that you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the pressure was there. I just, knowing me, I didn't do it because I know what it is that I want in life,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
don't want to be sick.
Yes.
Absolutely
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember there was one time I played tennis in high school, and we were going somewhere for like an away game.
Yes.
And like when we go for those games, they always take the bus, like the whole team together.
Yes.
And so we were all sitting in the back of the bus, like just chatting or whatever. And then one of our team members like, oh, let's play a game, like Never Have I Ever.
That
I don't know if
game.
you know that game, but essentially you hold up 10 fingers and then you go around in a circle and everyone says, never have I ever done this or that type of
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
And so it started out being like super innocent and everything, like never have I broken a bone.
Yes.
And if you have done it, then you put down a finger. And so the goal is to see who has had the least never have I ever's. If that makes any
Yes,
sense.
it makes sense. Yes.
Yeah, so they were going around in circles saying, like, each one saying a different never have I ever. But then it got to the point where they were like saying, never have I ever done this type of drug or been
Yes.
to this place, like all these things.
Extreme things.
Yeah, extreme
Yes.
things that I personally have never done. So
Yes.
I won that game.
Right.
But in that moment, I feel like I was not like pressure to do those things. I was like, oh, I'm like the odd one
Yeah.
out. Like, because
And in a way, you
Yes.
feel
did not
left
do
out.
it. Yes, exactly. You feel left out, and so
Yes.
then you think to yourself, oh, maybe I should be doing those things too. But you can't get trapped in that mindset.
Yeah.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes,
That you
yes.
also need to do those things in order to fit within that group.
Yeah, yeah,
Because a lot of those things are not good for you.
They're not. I
agree,
Physically,
yes.
emotionally, spiritually, it's not good for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Like-
you really have to stand your ground and, like you said, follow with your morals. And,
And
stuff
that's
like
where
that.
like the parents could come in a lot
Yes.
more. Like you really teach your kids what's
Yeah.
important, what's not
Yes.
important. Like
Yeah.
drugs, like they'll
Yeah.
come here. Here they already legalize a lot of these drugs anyway, so you can easily
It's
go into
everywhere.
a shop and buy it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you have to know what is more important to you. Why are you in
Yes.
America? Like America, that's why I always say America is the land of opportunities. You come here, you get your money, you go somewhere else. You can't
Yes.
live in America because this place is constant go, 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 go. So you have to know what it is that you truly want your kids
Yes.
to do
Yes.
and what you want for your kids and really ingrain it into them like, this is what's important.
Yes.
Don't listen to like doing this and this and this. Because in America, you can win or lose.
Yes.
And when you lose big.
Yes.
Because if you start tapping into clubbing,
Yes.
drugs,
Yes.
you know, just
Party
go
scene and
parties
everything.
Yeah.
and all that stuff, like you're ruined. At that point, you're gonna mess up your life.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I feel too, like a lot of African parents can be not talk to their kids or
Yes.
not like have those conversations with their kids.
Mm.
So I feel like that's something that should be done.
And
Yes.
it's
put more
really
effort to
hard
do
too
that.
for the kids who come with no father figure in their household because when you have a dad, the father can like really like you know really put some sense into your
Yes.
head.
That's right.
Whereas the mom is more soft
Yes.
and mom is more like, oh honey, it's okay. This
Yeah.
and but the dad is like, no, it's not okay. Do X, Y, and Z. You
Yes,
know.
yes.
But for those who are coming with like a single mom, like look. For me, because me too, I don't have a dad, but like I look at my mom's life, I'm like, oh, this is how my mom lived.
Yes.
Do I really want her to go? Like if I really tap into those peer pressure and trying to act like everybody else, trying to be the cool kid,
Yes.
no, like look at your family and know why you're actually in America.
Yes.
Like it's a land of opportunity. Make your mom proud.
Yes.
You know, your mom
Yes.
struggled so much bringing you into this life first of all.
Right.
So why are you coming in here embarrassing her? Or
Exactly,
actually
yes.
like drowning yourself into something that's not even gonna bring you any sort of happiness, just
Right.
ruin
Right.
your entire life.
Right.
You know. So having that common sense is
Yes. It's key. It's
is
important.
key. It's
yes.
very important, yeah.
Yeah.
The schools, they don't have a way of, or a system of kind of controlling the use of drugs and those kind of stuff.
I mean, they
They
try.
do.
but
They try, but it's
A lot of it
hard.
happens outside of school.
Yeah.
Oh,
When
Yeah.
you're hanging out with
Yeah.
your friends.
Yes.
Or hanging out with other people outside of school. That's usually when people are exposed to that.
Yeah, yeah, and then the
So-
weekends, you know,
Yes.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you know, coming back. I remember, like my siblings right now, they're all still like, well, two of them are still like in high school.
Yes.
So it's always like, oh my gosh, my friends are doing this weekend. I want to go. Like, yes, you want to have fun too, but
Right.
you have to understand that those kids. They have it all. I mean, they don't have it all, but they have more than you do. Like when you
Yes.
look at their background, you can't compare yourself to them.
Yeah.
Especially Americans, you know, like I had friends who went to the mall every single day.
Right.
Did I have money to go to the mall every single day? No, I had money to go to the mall once a week, once a year.
Right. yeah.
So I had to like put myself in my place really
Yes.
and look at my situation
Yes.
compared
Yeah.
to theirs.
Yes.
And be like, okay, let me stick to me. Because
That's
if I
right.
start doing, oh, my friends are going to the mall every day, I want to go to the mall every day too.
Yeah.
You're gonna get into things that you're not supposed to get into.
That's
like
true,
stay
yes.
stay in your lane. You'll see them when you guys go back to school. They might talk about all these cool things they have. So what?
Right.
Their situation is completely different from yours.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
just realizing that, like, you know, as much as you want to be the cool kid,
Yes.
put yourself in your own situation and look at what you
Right.
actually want in
Yeah.
this life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then make your decisions based on that.
Yes. Wow. Yeah, right there you guys like just mentioned something that I had never thought about. I had never reasoned that. I thought like majority of the time they use these drugs in school. No. But That makes a lot of
everywhere.
sense.
It's
It makes
everywhere,
now a
yeah.
lot of sense. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
everywhere.
It
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense.
Even
I
kids
mean-
like in elementary, like who are high school, they're using drugs too.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not just like
Starting
adults.
from like
yeah.
middle school, like early middle school,
Yeah.
I think people can be
Yeah.
exposed to it.
Yes.
It definitely depends who you hang out with, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So picking
yeah.
your friends,
Be
picking
careful.
your friends, be careful who you hang out with.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
or otherwise you become like them, and you do not want to become like them.
No.
No.
No. And I'm glad you're reminding them, like, remember where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Remember the struggle the parents had to go through
To get you here, yeah.
And I think it comes down to like, hey, just prioritize.
Mm-hmm.
Prioritize what is important.
Exactly.
What is will make your parents proud. And at the end of the day, we want everybody to be successful in America.
Exactly.
To turn out well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what our parents really want.
Yes.
For us, like
Yeah.
they want to be part of their kids. Like, yeah, we might, they might beat us here and there.
Yes. Yes.
Out of love.
Out of love, like
love,
it's
yes.
because they want what's best for you. Because I know when we first came to the U.S., my mom was beating me. I'm not gonna be shy speaking about that. Like
Right.
whenever I got in trouble, she'll like slap me. She'll take her shoes and throw it at me.
Yeah.
But I never reported it anywhere.
Right.
Where you
don't
have
report it.
you have African kids these days. They come to the U.S. and you know how back home, like when you do something stupid, your mom will take your dad or your mom will
Right.
take like a belt and start beating you up to
Yes.
discipline you.
Yeah.
You come here in the U.S. If a mother does that, the kid is like, I'm gonna report you to the police. I mean, the second you report them, CPS come and takes your kid. Right there, you leave your mom in depression.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, they're just, why did we come to the U.S. in the first place?
In the first place, yes.
And then they start struggling.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's hard. It's very, very
Actually,
hard.
what is the effect of when is it the child?
Child's
Is it
CPS, Child
Child's
Support,
Protective
CPS, Protective
Services.
Services.
I think,
yes,
yeah.
yes. Actually, what is the effect of them coming in, like to the kid?
So
Is
they-
there a benefit? Because like they should know, like if you report, they're gonna come in and they'll take you out away. And what are the negatives?
See, the negative side of that, they put
Yes.
you in the system.
Mm.
And when
Usually,
you
like,
go into that
foster care,
foster
maybe.
care,
Yes.
foster homes,
You never have
and
a
when
stable
you
environment.
exactly when you go into
afterwards.
those places,
Yes.
you're messed. I don't want to say you're messed because there's some kids who actually come out of there good,
Better, yeah.
better. But there's some kids who come out of there and they're just like messed up.
Messed up, yeah, for them.
Yeah.
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 Because like the child, even the foster care system in the U.S. is messed up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like when you look at the policies and everything, they're trying to take a lot of things away. And at the same time, it was like, but you're allowing more kids.
Right,
Like,
right.
with not enough support for these
Yes,
kids.
yes.
So it's very hard.
Yeah.
And it's just better to listen to your parents. They might be in the wrong sometimes.
Yes.
They might be in the wrong
Yes,
sometimes. I
yeah.
agree. Like some parents, I don't know, they just do things out of whatever.
Yeah.
But you just have to like listen to them regardless.
Right. And I'm assuming that also means like having less time with your family. So I'm assuming if you get taken away to a foster family.
Yeah.
So if you love your family, you may as well,
Stay.
not be calling police all the time.
Don't call police all the time.
Yes.
No,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
the only thing they're gonna do is just take you away from your family.
Exactly.
That's it. Take
And
you away
won't
from
want
your
that.
community.
Yeah.
It's like, and a lot of like African kids. Yes, if you're lucky, you do get put into a good home.
Yes.
And when you're in that good home, like you really thrive in the best way possible.
Yes,
Like
yes.
they put you through a lot of great things.
Yeah.
But if you get put in a bad home,
Mm-hmm.
you're just messed up.
Yeah,
Mentally, physically, everything.
Yeah. Especially
Yes.
the older you are.
Yeah.
The older you are, put
The
into
harder it
foster
is too.
system, the harder it is for you to even.
Yes.
Because like
Yeah.
once you hit 18 and you still haven't found a home yet,
Yes.
you're
Then
kicked
you're on
out.
your own.
You're on your own.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But can they ever bring you back to your family once you call CPS?
Once
Do you
you're
know?
18, what, when you're 18 or
No,
yeah?
like when CPS is called and they take you away, do they ever bring you back to your family?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think it just depends. Like I think you have privileges maybe to see your family every now and then, but your parents are no longer your
Your legal guardians.
Maybe.
Maybe?
Yeah. So other people are your
Wow.
legal guardians now.
Yes.
Yeah, imagine you leave your mom to go
Oh,
live with
man.
another person. Either
Right.
way.
And moms are the ones who
Exactly.
cook the best meals.
You're missing out.
You're missing out. Now you'll be eating other food that's not African food. or-
Exactly, yes.
That's bad. I
That's
mean, it's not
missing a
bad.
lot.
You're missing a lot.
Yeah.
You're missing the culture, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
everything.
And some of these things kids can take for granted.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
grow
when
up and they realize, oh man, I should have embraced, who I am and my
Exactly,
roots.
exactly.
Yeah. Man, this has been a great conversation.
Yeah.
And I just want to hear your final thoughts. It could be just anything concerning our conversation.
Yeah.
Or some sort of like a summary, something that you want a kid to take away from this conversation.
I feel like we didn't touch on, it's not my podcast, but.
Yeah, actually, you guys know better.
We didn't
Yes.
touch on
Yeah.
international students.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
You went to a school where there's a lot of international students.
Like
Have
in
you
high
ever-
school, middle school, or like college?
Let's do college, because a lot of them
Yes.
come through, college, undergrad,
Yeah.
and then they do their masters. Yeah,
That's true.
So you can talk.
Like, what do you want me? Like, what?
I
about
don't know,
them?
like, from your experience with, interacting with international
Oh.
students at your school.
They were definitely a lot more open-minded
Yeah.
and more receptive to you as
Yes.
an African student.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I honestly got along better with them
Yes.
than white people here
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
US, just because I feel like I could relate better. And just like their experience as well, they understood like where I was coming from as well.
Yes.
So, yeah, I don't know. What you want to say?
I
more
don't know.
about
I just in my head I was like, oh, maybe when another person is watching this and they're
Yes.
international students, they want to know like what is it like being an international
I
student.
see.
I'm not an international student.
I feel like it's a lot harder,
Yeah.
at least college-wise. Like figuring out like how to do things here, all the legality behind it as well,
Yes.
figuring out paperwork, those type of things.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like a lot of the points that we mentioned are very applicable
To-
to
yeah,
a lot
to a
of
lot of
international
it,
students too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, what she said. I don't know. I was just saying, like, I think international students are very, very cool.
Yes.
And I think when you come here as an international student, you really just have to find your
Yes.
people.
yeah,
Yes.
Because
exactly.
you're gonna find it a lot easier
Mm.
to live at the school when you find
Yes.
people who are from your country, for
Yes.
example.
Yeah.
Or, like I know Grand Valley has a lot of international students. I've only interacted with a few, not all of them. And I know they have like an
Yes.
international student group chat, and I'm in there.
Yeah.
And I heard from talking to different ones, I've heard them say that, that their parents tell them when they come to the U.S., don't interact with other international students because they might lead you the wrong way.
What?
Girl.
Yeah.
But I want to say that know what you're coming here for,
Yes,
but
yes.
still interact with those students. Don't just shut yourself off
Yes.
just because, they might lead me astray, this and that. No. Like, put yourself in that, because that's how you feel more. You'll feel
Yes.
more at home
Yes.
in a way.
Yes.
And then you won't be depressed. Because some of them that I've spoken to, they are depressed. Like, they're like, oh, nobody wants to talk to me. My parents are over there. I'm in this country that I don't know anybody.
Yes.
I'm not eating the proper food because, they don't know where the African stores are at.
Right.
But once you start interacting with the African students at the school, whether international or not,
Yes.
those who've been there for a while, they know the ins and outs.
Yes.
So really,
Yes.
like, talk to them
Yes.
and include yourself in different organizations, like
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes.
either African organizations or look at what's
Different
happening,
clubs, stuff
different
like that.
clubs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at what's happening in that city that has to do with African festival and stuff.
Yes.
So also do that.
Yeah.
but
That goes back to how you're saying, like, there's resources out there. You just got to
you just have to you really
Yes.
have to reach out to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You really have to find them. And and I think like school in Africa is a lot harder than school in America.
Yes.
I have to say that. Just
That's
because
what I've heard. My parents say that all the time.
Yeah.
I think I went to school there for like, from when I went from first grade all to the fourth grade. And I could tell you it was a lot harder for me
Yes.
than it was when I came to the US. 'Cause here everything is just study guide,
Yes.
test. Teacher, I don't know this. It's all
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
But then in Africa, it's not there.
It's not,
You have to really study from chapter 1 to chapter 9, and you
Yes.
never know what's going to be on the test.
Yeah.
But here, everything is like there. You just have to ask for
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's for me like my experience was depending on which class.
Yeah.
Because I came here, I didn't have any computer knowledge.
Yeah.
I had just learned how to type, but other than that, I didn't know how to copy paste.
Oh, yeah.
So it was
yeah.
really like there are some classes were extremely difficult because I did mechanical engineering.
Yeah.
And you don't know how to copy paste, but some classes require programming.
Yeah.
So for me, it was a lot of learning, and during that time, I struggled. Yes,
And I think it's also, that's why it's also important to make friends.
yes,
It's going to be hard, but like it's also important to really try to find that person in that classroom that you can connect with.
yes.
And see like if their value, are similar to yours.
Yes.
Because for me, I think that's why I've been succeeding a lot in my classes.
Yes.
Just because I have different friends, different person that I talk to in every class that's like, hey, let's go study together.
Yes.
So then we go to study together. They're teaching me something,
Yeah.
and I'm teaching them something. And it's easier to really comprehend whatever it is the teacher was,
Yes.
whatever we're taking notes on in class, just because we're exchanging our notes and we're exchanging the way we learn
Yes.
something.
Yes. No, I
So,
totally
yeah.
agree,
That's so true. Yeah.
And then I think I also agree with connecting with community. Because some people, as you said, some people are told like, don't interact with Africans,
Yeah.
fellow Africans. But I think it's important that you connect with the community.
It's very
because
important, yeah.
they are able to give you the insight of a lot of things.
Yeah.
I've seen students come here and isolate themselves.
Yes.
They get in
yeah.
trouble, and it's just a small problem that could be solved by a fellow African, and they just end up in a really bad place. You know, and a lot of these things they are told like, unajua kama wazungu, you interact more with white people, maybe they'll give you money, sometimes
yeah.
you come with these stereotypes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and so people isolate themselves and just want to interact with
With white people, yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And that's a big mistake.
It's
Yeah.
a very big
Oh,
mistake.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't definitely come with the mindset that, oh, I'm going to be receiving a lot of things.
No,
Yes.
you're
Yeah.
not. You're not.
Yeah.
You're on your own now.
You're
it's
on
such
your
an
own.
individualistic society.
And it's a
that
lot
you
better.
Really have to
Yes.
do that.
And it's a lot better when you come here and interact with Africans. I feel like they will give you a lot more.
Yes.
And it might
That's
not be
true.
money.
Yes.
It might not be
Yes.
monetary,
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like the stuff they will tell you, like if you don't have food,
Yes.
some of them do actually have food.
Yeah.
And they'll give you that, the taste of home again,
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas if you're really interacting with Americans, they'll just take you to Burger King and McDonald's.
Yeah.
You don't want to eat that every day.
Right, right.
So you really have to interact with other Africans. Because there was this Nigerian grammar school. We went to this event together because the dean at the school was invited somewhere. She knew the dean and I knew the assistant dean, so somehow we were
Yes.
put in that gala. So we went to this gala and I'm talking to her and she's like, "Wow, you're so nice to talk to. Where are you from?" I was like, "Oh, I'm from Africa." She's like, "Really? You're the nicest African I've met since I came to the U.S." And I'm just like, "No, there's other nice Africans."
Right.
And then she's the one who actually told me that my parents told me not to talk to other Africans because they're gonna do this and it's not. I'm like,
wow.
"Girl, no."
Yeah, no, yeah.
You're all in the same boat.
No.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
might as
Yeah.
well talk to each other.
Exactly. Like there were a few other people that I really interacted with. They mentioned that they almost said the same thing,
The same
just
thing,
in
yes.
different wordings. And I was just so shocked. I was like, how can you come to a country
Right.
you don't know anybody,
Yes.
and you just want to isolate yourself from people that actually look like you, that you share a culture with? It might be a bit different,
Right.
but a lot of the things are the same.
Are the
And
same,
you just want to
yes.
isolate yourself, and then
Yes.
you talk about, "Oh, I'm so depressed. I'm so this and this." No. You're the one who's doing that to yourself.
Yes.
Put yourself out there. Like, again,
Yes.
comes to connecting with other people.
Yeah.
That's how you actually get far.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I agree. And in every society there is always bad characters.
True.
Right.
True.
So
Yeah.
even in our community there are bad apples.
Yeah.
And so,
Absolutely.
the people who are coming here, they just need to make sure that they take time to know which are the good apples and
which
the
are the bad
ones.
apples, yeah.
Because there are some people here who come like, they know some people are vulnerable at some point, especially for girls, and they get taken advantage of. And now they are put in another mess, and they're pregnant or
Oh, yes.
and all of that kind of mess, right?
Yes.
So we have to admit
Yes.
that to a degree, the parents, they are right because they are those bad apples.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean like majority of the people,
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're not
are
like
good
that.
people.
Yeah.
It's just a responsibility of each individual to be able to pinpoint, okay, I'm in this situation, but should I allow this situation to let somebody, a bad apple,
Yeah.
to mess me
Affect
up?
you.
Affect
Yeah.
you,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's where a lot of discernment comes in, guys.
Yeah.
Know who to and not to listen to.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And when you come here, just make sure you know exactly what you're coming here for.
Yes.
Yes, interact with other people,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, you know exactly why you're here.
Yes.
And don't get into any trouble. Don't do anything that's gonna, cause you to go astray
Yes.
from what your goal is.
Yeah. But as you said, it can actually happen. Like you can meet somebody good, but it's a matter of take your time to know.
Yeah.
The
Exactly.
people.
Don't rush into
Exactly.
Don't rush it.
Yeah.
And that's another advantage of being a community. Because believe me, like in as this community of Africans here, you'll be able to say, hey, I met this guy. His name is so and so. What do you think about him? And you'll be able like to learn about these people
That person,
Yeah.
and that person before like you start giving them a chance, and then end
Yeah.
up finding yourself in a big
In a
mess.
bad situation, yeah.
Yes, yes.
They
'Cause-
can be a way to help you discern exactly what the
Yes.
true intentions
Yeah,
of that
Yes,
person.
exactly. So again,
yes.
it's like the community part plays
Yeah.
a big
Yes.
part in
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
It does. It does play, I think, a big role. Is there anything else that you guys think we haven't really covered that you guys think is kind of important?
I think my biggest thing is just remember to know your values and what
Yes.
your morals and everything,
Mhm.
because that's gonna get you higher
Yes.
here.
Yeah.
Because like if you know your morals and what you stand for,
Yes.
you'll know exactly what to do.
Yes. Yes.
I feel
yes.
like, and have a good support system.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I would say too, like, focus on school, but also do other things outside of school that
Yes.
you enjoy.
Yeah.
That fills up
Important,
your
yes.
cup.
Yes.
Whether it's sports, like other extracurricular activities.
Yes.
To
A
have
lot
that
of
balance.
schools too, like colleges, actually want students
Yes.
that are not just academically
Mhm.
good, but are
Yes.
also well-rounded in other aspects.
Yes.
So actually taking the effort and time to participate in those other things
Yes.
that you enjoy.
That's true.
And that will help you kind of show to that school that, hey, I'm not just academically gifted, but I'm also
Right.
so and so and like this. So
I think for the mothers, we love you, our mothers. We do. It's just like be there for us, you
Yes.
know, like actually listen to us.
Mm.
I know a lot of mothers come here and they have these tribal beliefs. Like have those, but at the
Yes.
same time try to understand where your kids are coming from.
Yes. Yes.
Like actually
yes.
listen to them and know. Try to understand, basically.
Yeah.
Because it's hard. It's hard for you to come into a new world where you don't know
Yes.
the language, you don't know the people. Your community is not there as much as it used to be when you were home.
Yes.
Now look at your child. So your child now is going to school with people. You stay home. Maybe you go to work depending on your ability. You know, the kids are going to school.
Yes.
Now they're surrounded by people from all over,
yes.
and they have different impacts in their lives. So when they come home crying, when they come home
Yes.
looking sad, hear them out. You know, talk to
Definitely,
them,
yes,
check
yes.
on them,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff. So that way they can, you can always remind them of their culture and their
Yes.
beliefs that way. So you're constantly ingraining into them without actually doing it physically,
Yes.
in a wrong way. I don't know how
in a
to
punitive way.
Yes. So it's very important. Like I can't tell you how many parents that I know that are just letting their kids go astray just because
Right.
they're like, oh, I'm tired of you, this culture, because they have their own trauma.
Yes.
The kids have their own trauma.
Their
Like, how can
trauma,
we
yeah.
come together and
Right.
try to work through this trauma?
Yes,
Let's
yes.
understand one another.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way your kids are actually gonna, prosper in the U.S.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. Wow, wow. Well, this has been a great conversation.
It has.
It's really been, and I'm really grateful that you guys could come in and share, and just your experiences. This may seem simple, but I think this will help a lot of people. It will help a lot of students.
Yeah.
It will help a lot of parents, and just imagine like your experiences. Maybe some of them were challenging experiences, but just you sharing that enables somebody else doesn't have to go through the same. And I think that's why it's so important, like people to be able to share their experiences, so that people can learn through those experiences. If there are mistakes we made, maybe they can avoid making the same mistakes.
Yeah, exactly.
And just grow our African community in America. I always say like we're in America here, we're Africans, but let's make a small even here in America, away from home.
Yeah.
And that can only happen if we share information.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
information
Yeah.
is important.
And for my ladies, my age, please don't come here and get pregnant.
True.
Yes.
Seriously. And for the guys, please don't follow girls around.
Yeah.
You know, let's all focus on our own thing. And then when we're grown, we're in our late 20s,
Yes.
then we can come together. But other than that, please don't do that because you're just going to ruin your life.
Right.
Not ruin your life, it's a blessing.
It's
to
going to
have
make
a child.
it 10
It's-
times harder.
But it's going to be a lot harder for you
Yeah.
to really excel.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you come here, there's a lot of pretty boys. Trust me. I've seen.
Yes. It's
But
tempting.
it's tempting. It's very tempting. Very. I'm telling you, it's very, very tempting. But
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's-
I feel like we
focused.
really didn't touch on the girls because I feel
That's
like a lot
true.
of girls come here and they're like, oh, he's so cute.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, like I have a crush on him, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Focus on your education. Like this man is just gonna come and
Right.
hey,
Yeah.
no offense.
No, what
But
you
it's
say
true, though.
is true. Yeah. Continue. Yeah.
I just said it. It's true.
Yeah.
You're saying some totally valid
Yes.
points.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I feel like a lot of girls do have a hard time, because men will come and just do what they gotta do, and then they
Yes,
leave. Like
yes.
they can continue
Yeah.
building their business, doing
Yeah.
this, and then we're left over here,
Right.
no moral support.
Yeah.
Our
Taking care
mothers
of a
are.
kid.
Yes.
Yeah, now we have to take care of a
Supporting
kid,
them. Yeah.
support them. We're still trying to build our life, especially if we're really young.
Yes.
Trying to build our lives. Now we have this child that we have to worry about too.
Right,
I know that's
right.
my biggest scare. Like
Yeah.
I'm not done with school. Yeah.
Yes.
Imagine me having a baby. That's
Right.
Ay. That is something. Like I can't.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
really try to find your support system and
Yes.
stay away from. You can see them and be like, oh, he's cute, cool, but
Appreciate
continue.
and move on.
I appreciate it. Move on. Exactly.
Yes.
And if
Yes.
you're chasing your goals, like
Yes.
you're chasing, the man will come and chase with you.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
he'll understand what you value the most. And then when you both are like this,
Yes.
you reach your goal, he reaches his goal, and then you can
Yeah. Yeah.
join together.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But
yes.
other than that, please, some of them are just in the way to distract you.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, I think that is true. I think that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, I think women will be in the losing side, especially if they get a baby, and that guy is now willing to be there for the baby.
Exactly.
And you can put them in child support, but it's still,
it's your child.
it's still like a struggle. Like
Yeah.
how it still affect that child because they end up growing up either by the time maybe you get married by someone else. If that happens, they still, they have to now to start growing up from a single
Mother, exactly. That
And-
makes it hard.
And the negative effects that come even to the baby,
Yeah.
to the kid.
Exactly.
In addition to what you as a mother you are going through. So I think it's just better, like, as you say, like, hey, make those difficult choices whereby, they are cute and they are this, but you also have to look in the long term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The effect of it, yeah.
Focus on your goals
Focus on
and
exactly.
go for them.
Yes, yes, yeah. So guys, man, this has been awesome.
It really
You
has.
guys have been amazing. Like,
It's been fun.
yes, it's been fun.
I had so much fun talking
Yes.
about this. I feel
Yes.
like if this continues, we can even jump into other topics.
Yes, yes.
Not just school so this
Yes.
is just for like Africans back home.
This is
Or like people that are here, right?
even people who are here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
it covers a lot of base.
Yeah.
Because we really kind of touch in all areas. I know people will be maybe planning to come here. This is a knowledge they need to
Yeah.
hear. People who are here, there's somebody who could already be here and maybe they're making a mistake, they don't realize it. And they hear this conversation like, oh man,
Yeah.
I'm taking my life serious.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
Or it could be a parents like, oh man, I've not been listening to my child. Maybe I need to do more of that, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
For sure.
It's very important.
Yeah, it is
crazy.
important. So definitely we have a lot of things to talk about.
There's a lot, yeah.
And yeah, definitely I would love to have you guys back maybe on a different topic.
Yeah.
And just continue having these conversations. Yes, yeah. So, and guys also, this is our channel. Please go subscribe, listen to these videos because they have a ton of information. share, let other majority of people also get to know about this knowledge, amazing knowledge, and also leave comments. Let us know like what other topics we should talk about. I know I have a list of things to talk about, but I don't know everything.
Yes,
I'm also
yes.
learning. This is completely new to me.
Yeah.
But I just took a step of faith to do it.
Which is great.
Yes.
I think this is so needed.
Yes.
Yeah. And like, and
Yes.
if you can bring different people, even I was gonna say even grandpas, but even grandpas, yes, even
Wait,
grandpas,
yeah.
Yes.
pastors,
Yes.
Yeah.
all of
from
them,
different walks of
people
life.
from all, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
much to contribute.
Yes.
So we can
yes.
just get a little knowledge of everything helps.
Yes, yes,
From
yes.
different people. So
So guys, leave comments there what you guys would like to hear and how we are doing. If there are things that need to be corrected, we can
Yeah.
do better.
Oh, yes.
Hey, and if you want to do a podcast and you're wondering where you can start, in every YouTube I list a bunch of the equipments that we use here.
okay.
So
okay.
it will be easier for you. I've done a lot of research to get all of this, and it may save somebody a minute.
Okay.
So you can go there. The links are there of every
Equipment that you're using.
yes,
Which is
cables
great.
and
Yeah.
all of that.
Nice.
Okay.
So it'll be easier for you to get started, and you don't have to take a whole year of collecting everything like I did.
He did that research already, so
Yes.
you don't
The
have
hard
to worry
work for
about
y'all.
it. The hard work is
Exactly.
gone. He was the student who we all like just set out information and he did the project.
Exactly. Oh man, you guys have been great. I'm so grateful for you guys coming out.
That's great.
Even that you guys have never met me before.
I
It's the
know.
first time.
You see, this is the thing I love about Africans. We
Yes.
just connect.
Yes,
We, even
I
without knowing
know.
each other, we just connect.
Yes.
This is
Somebody
great.
may think we knew each other
For years.
years.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've gotten that so many times with different people that I've interacted with.
Yes.
So
yes, yes.
we love our culture. We love Africa.
It's the best.
Yes.
It's the best.
Yes.
And thank you, Brother John, for stepping in last minute notice and coming in to help out.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you. This has
Yeah.
been great.
Guys, ask questions.
Yeah,
Ask questions.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yay!
Yeah.
And cut.
And cuts. Yeah.
And